Hi, and thanks for joining. Today, we're going to talk all about how knowing who you are and seeing how other people see you and aligning that can make you more profits in your content business. So, recently, I was meeting up with someone who has become a dear friend, and we've met for about a year. And so, we've been toying with let's get together, let's get together. And as adult friendships do, it took us a while. Finally, we get together, and in a candid moment, she admits to me that she was intimidated by me. Oh my gosh, you're such a powerful woman, and it was intimidating, and talking to you was kind of scary. And I just had to work up the nerve to reach out, and I did want to create a friendship, but it took me a moment to get that courage. And I said, "What? What do you mean? Me? Powerful woman? Intimidating? Really? I come across that way?" And so I got excited. And so you might, like me, get excited sometimes when you hear something that you are being, but you didn't know you were being. But in this case, I love the idea of being considered powerful, but it really had me question the part about intimidating. Am I coming off as not approachable? And so I started to think about the things that have happened in my life. And we all have a journey, and my journey has been more of owning and saying, yeah, I'm pretty freaking powerful. And that took me a long time to get there because of beliefs and stories and things that I had. And maybe you're in the work right now of accepting and loving yourself. And I truly have reached that place, but it was a journey to get here. And so inside, here's the secret I want you to understand, because I'll bet it applies to most of us. Inside of me, I still come into an event, into a situation, and I'm doing everything I can to take what's inside of here and get it out in these scenarios. Now, in the right moment, with the right group, with my friends, no one would ever know this, but I'm very shy. I don't feel like my voice has power or merit in a lot of situations, or even if I know it does, I often have this story going that, like, maybe they won't really hear it. Maybe they, maybe no one cares what I have to say, especially if they don't know me. But in the realm of family and friends, when I'm free and more free in myself by my own story, right, to show up, to step up, what begins to happen is there is this sort of essence, and the things people call me are bubbly and warm and friendly and like a big warm hug and mom energy. Never got that because I feel like I barely made it through motherhood, and my grown adult sons can attest to this. I'm doing my best, and we just keep on working on it together now that they're adults. And so I see myself as someone who's barely making the cut. Like, I get it. I have powerful energy, but I don't think people see that. And I feel like all the time, because my standards are so high for myself, I'm barely making the cut to even be in this room, let alone to have something to say, to bring my voice forward. And even as I'm sharing with you, I feel a little vulnerable because that's my story, right? And that's the piece that I'm still working on, is understanding that what I have to say has value. And so pause for a moment. If you like what I'm saying and it does have value for you, please like, share, and do all those things, and subscribe so that I can keep going out with this message. This is me keeping a commitment. I said 52 videos this year. This is counting as video one because I started and stopped, but that's okay. 2 a week for the rest of the year it is. So if you're just getting here, thank you for tuning in, and please subscribe and share with your friends. If I say something that resonates with you, please give the shout out, give the share. Let us, share us on your social media. Let people know that we're here. And most importantly, I have 52 of these things to make to keep my commitment. Will you please tell me what you want to hear about? I have a lot to say. But usually it takes me a little while to start saying it. I have committed in this moment, going forward and forever. I am keeping those commitments, and my voice is coming to you. So as I sit here in front of you, I want you to understand this is hard for me, not the talking. I mean, let's be real. Once I start talking, it's easy for me. But the setting it up, as you can see, I just said, look, I got a little thing here. Oh, whoops, it's so backwards to me. So I've got my little plant here who's joining the party, my friend's art. I've got a money tree. this way. And a token from Bali back there. I just put the things I love and that are close to me and that stay on my altar because I wanted the anchor of it. And why am I saying all this to you? I want you to understand, like, this is a act of love. This is me saying my voice deserves to be heard in the world and I'm putting it out there. But I did not see it that way. I thought that everyone is seeing me as this, like, "Ugh, can she hurry up? I feel like I talk a lot. So can she just hurry up and get to the point? Or can she hurry up so I can have the mic?" And so inside of me, there's all this expectations that I created, no one else, about how people might or will feel about what I have to say. And it has stopped my voice. And so to hear someone, even from a year ago until now, and I've certainly changed a lot in this past 12 months. I have definitely gotten bolder. I understand my value more. I hold that value a lot more. I have withdrawn from keeping friendships that don't serve. And there are so many things that have changed. So even to say, okay, maybe she sees me now and sees a powerful woman, but a year ago? What? So, you guys, what I want you to understand is this year has been crazy for me, and I'm wondering, is it okay for me to take the stage in this new way? Oh, I'm a retired professor. Maybe that doesn't have any value. Maybe nobody cares. Maybe everybody's like, oh, professors, they just talk. And so I want you to hear that's the resounding story. Now, I don't let that story be the boss, because if my stories in my head were the boss, like many of us, we'd never do anything. So I feel it, I experience it, I have a lot of vulnerabilities. And then when they're done, or sometimes before they're done, but usually I give them space. Say what you got to say. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, do you really want to be a speaker? You get nervous every time. Not on YouTube, but if I'm going on a stage in live, because that's where my true calling is. Like, why do I get nervous? Because I'm excited. When I am in person and on a stage, I am living in, I can't even explain it, the light that comes on and things channel through, and I understand and I connect with the audience in a way that even I always go back and marvel, like, what just happened? But every single time I feel nervous, and you can say, oh, okay, nervous and excited are the same energy with a different interpretation. But the truth is, either way, my stomach gets all crazy. And part of that isn't because I'm nervous about what I'm going to say or how people will receive it. What it really is for me is that speaking is my calling in the world. I don't know what it's supposed to deliver and offer you, but I know that it's the thing that I have to do. Every project I've ever gotten involved in, everything I've ever tried to do that mattered to me has all involved speaking at some point or some level. And that's where I shine and that's where I can offer you value. So when I'm in that moment and I am stepping onto a stage, those are those moments when I'm like, oh my gosh, this is me stepping in my calling. This is big. Guess what? It is powerful, because when you step into your light and who you truly are, no matter what that looks like, it is powerful. Whether it's at home, working out the details for the people who are going to be on stage, if it's setting up the lighting so it looks just right for the person who's going on stage, if it's designing the music and sound, if it's, the sound guys, they get to go down in your dress. Like, hey guys, if you're a young guy looking for, just kidding, scratch that. Hey, if we ever edit this, can we please edit that out? I'm just kidding. I'm totally honest. And but it's kind of funny, because you go in as a speaker and you have to unzip your dress and put the whole pack and like hang it on. And so, just so you can look cute. So if you don't trust your sound guy and you get on stage, and this happened to me recently, about 3 months ago, I was on a stage and I start speaking, no sound. Now, this guy had to get all the way up in there. I had a side zipper. He had to go up and around and in and get it onto my bra and hold it, and then hold it in place while I zipped the dress. It was a nightmare. Can you imagine if I didn't trust my sound guy in that moment when I started speaking? The guy comes back like, oh, let's fix your mic. I'm like, it's on. I know what's going on inside of my pack. Confidence galore. Why? Because I trusted my sound guy. And I said, I'll just keep speaking. I know he's got it in the back. And then, and speaking, I'm just going to keep talking. And eventually you'll all hear me, and let there be sound, because suddenly they could hear me. And I was able to bring forward something that was like potentially embarrassing in a very big way into a powerful. First words they heard from me was, let there be sound, in a powerful booming voice. I didn't anticipate that. I didn't plan for that. Magic gets to happen because I was in my zone and I trusted someone else to be in their zone. This man who had helped me, a young fellow. He had helped me get the back all done, and I knew, and he had it on, and we tested it, and we knew it was safe. So part of the leaning into your power is allowing yourself to understand that you being in your power lets someone else be in their power, and together we all get everything we need. And so let's talk about how that affects you in course building, because I know that's why you tuned in. Perhaps for some of you is like, what does that have to do with my content? For a while, I have been trying to offer myself to the world in a way that presumes that they're doing me a favor if they sign up. Now, I know that sounds crazy. Like, it's, well, will you trust me? Will you invest in my program? I'm just over here kind of meek and kind of quiet. Can you trust me and kind of invest, and just give me a chance to show you how amazing I am? And that's good. I mean, humility has its place, but what was happening is the highest certainty gets the yes. And through some scientific evidence and research, we have found that, for one, people will want to be told what to do. We want someone to say, hey, I don't know about this thing, do this. I don't want to do marketing. I want someone to say, hey, give me these 3 videos and then you're done. Like, I don't want to even know how to do it. And I certainly want to be told what to do so that that whole thing can be handled. But when it comes to something that you're going to take over, when it comes to something that has 2 things: authority, so someone who has an authority in that space, and novelty, something that you don't know a lot about, you're more likely to hand over your power. Well, rightfully so, right? Because if someone is the trusted authority and you don't know, then we thrive when we allow that and share with the experts. But if you don't understand that you are the trusted authority in your area, then you're still always looking with the lesser power, and you're always coming from would you trust me and let me help you? But let me tell you what happened. I shifted my energy around a thing because I started building courses for people. And it just happened that I jumped into a group that was going to do a big event, and they didn't have anything to sell. So I was like, let me help you. We developed a mastermind. They sold that mastermind for $67,000 the first time. All in all, numbers be told, I believe that company ended up bringing in about $500,000 between investors and mastermind sales over that 12-month period. I plugged in only in the beginning as they were launching. And then, sometimes people send me back reports. And so I was like, oh, well, that was kind of cool. And then I was working with another brand that did the same thing. And I was like, wait, I'm pretty good at this. And I realized that a lot of times you have this vision, but you don't really know how to structure that so that it can bring you profits. Now, I'm going to preface this with this. I'm not the person to bring you the audience. So if you don't have an audience, I'd focus there first. Get people listening. I don't really sell well because I don't have an audience either. I sell in my close-knit network because people know me and they know the quality of my work. But at the masses, at the time of this filming at least, don't yet have a following because I've never focused on that. So know what you're trying to do. In my case, offering a low ticket course doesn't make sense because no one's looking, not enough people. So you need the volume to have a low ticket. But what I found is by plugging in a large way and letting someone invest in having me on their team, I was really good at getting the structures in place so they could for real blow up the company in a good way, right? Like blow up your profits, make them go higher. And I started to notice that pattern. And so being retired, I was a professor for 22, 3, 4 years. And then I retired and I was sitting kind of doing nothing as I started helping this group with the mastermind. I was like, well, let me do that again. Oh, I did it again. I was just trying to, in my retirement, finding projects that I could plug into, make some extra income, but most importantly, have a lot of fun doing something I loved. And I got really good at it. So I decided to claim that and recognize that I am really powerful at setting up systems and structures in place, especially designing them with strategy so that they're profitable, so that I'm an economist. Like, let's face it, I taught financial economics. I'm an economist through and through. Economists are lazy. We don't want to work hard. So we find ways to build the systems and structures. So we do it once. Maybe we worked harder the first time through, but then it pays us again and again and again. And we don't have to reinvent that wheel and fix it again and again. We can sell it again and again. We like to eat again and again on one meal. We like to sell again and again and again on one product. So, as an economist, I found that I was really good at getting efficiency into a business model and structure, and then take someone's general content, things they were putting into the world, and help them structure it through a course that could become evergreen, that could become also a supplement to their high ticket offers. I call it we build only premium courses. And when we build our premium course, you'll get your lower ticket offer as a feed in to that. So people can taste the offer by having a little bit of it. And so what I found is by doing that process, I was really good at it. And I was bold in it. Why? Because people came back to me and said, "Hey, we made a lot of money with this." And I started to realize it was making an impact in the lives of the people I was helping. So I just decided to claim that space. Now, I've been building courses since 1999. Yes, you all, since before 2000, I was already building college level courses. And I just always did it for universities, for corporations, and now I get to do it for also entrepreneurs, especially entrepreneurs who want to sell to corporations and universities. So it really came full circle. And so in that space, I was able to, with boldness and authority, claim, "Hey, I can do this for you." And when I saw someone with that problem, I could boldly say, "I can do this for you." And what resulted was, during that month that I just stepped out testing this theory, I got all the sales I needed for that at that time, then I got busy building. Well, as you know, entrepreneur cycle, sometimes you're busy selling, sometimes you're busy building. This is where team starts to come in after you get a little momentum, because maybe someone else can help you with some of those parts. So now my next step is I'm finding how to navigate the yo-yos of when I'm home building and digesting this content. I'm not out selling. And when I'm out selling, I have customers who have products that they need to be delivered. So finding always that. But guess what it does? It allows you to step in as the authority, as the person, the answer to what you are doing. And when I stepped into that authority, I can now stand in front of anyone. And I've turned many down and said, "I don't think you're ready for me. I don't think this is the right time." Or, "Yes, let's do it together." And a lot of that has been to be able to be true to who I am and what I can offer, and to come from a place of wholeness in my offer. And that changed everything. And I had my biggest sales month you guys, I retired 3 years ago. But in March this year, I had my biggest sales month ever in business, because I used to take my professor dollars and funnel those into the trainings and teachings and systems and structures I needed for business. But because I thought no one looked at me as the authority and no one trusted me, I sold from that place. Okay, like, if you want to help by giving me a shot, like, okay. No, when I understood that I am the authority in this, and people really make real money based on what I've structured and my strategies and my advice, I started to own that. And then I can speak boldly to that. And then people wanted to sign up. Then I had a line and I said, "Okay, wait, I got to pause. I can't sell anymore right now." I had two people on hold and had to say, "Okay, we're going to have to wait a minute, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to deliver this. I've never had that much work come in at one time." And so it's all part of the process. And I hope that if anything comes across for you in this conversation, it is that whatever is yours to do, the thing you know, that thing that it probably is something that bubbles down in your belly and you haven't even admitted yet for some of you. For many of us, we know, and the bubbling is because we're scared as we're stepping into it, but stepping into it anyway. And so, if I can bring you any bubbles today, it's bubbles of joy, knowing that you're on the right path. And those bubbles that come up inside of you, they are the truth. They are your truth. Pay attention to that. Listen to that, because that's where you can shine. And if you can take an understanding of how people are seeing you, and you can mirror that with how you see yourself, and you get to adjust how they see you by showing up differently. You get to adjust how you see you by reflecting it through others. But whatever that balance is for you, when you start to align and claim the power of what people see in you, I'll bet you they see a whole lot that you don't see. I'll bet you they see a whole lot that you didn't even consider could be possible. And I'll bet you, if you look close and ask enough, They see in you what you see in you if you would let yourself see the truth. I'm going to say that in another way. I'll bet you they see in you that part of you that you wish you were, that goes down, 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 down in your belly, like, that part, that perfect part of you that you aspire to be, that if only I this, then I could be that. That's the part of you that I bet people see and love the most. So, and if it's not, that's great. The reflection is a perfect place to get better. I don't see in the mirror what I feel comfortable seeing when I'm eating well, and I like my skin a different way. So, I've changed some habits now, and this is not a finished thing. You'll see me in another video and I'll look bright and glowing and amazing. And you'll see me in another and I'm barely getting by. And that's because I'm human and so are you. So give yourself a break. Step up into who you know you are, that you maybe are afraid to even admit to people you think you might be. Let the people around you show up and let them affirm to you what they see, and then go out and develop your content based on the truth of who you are, and stop trying to please an audience. I mean, this is a digress. I was trying to finish, but I'm going to say this because it needs to be said. Someone listening needs to hear this. Your audience isn't looking for a reflection of them. They're looking for something different. And what they need is you to be you so they can find out if you have the true juice they need. And just be you. Let the audience come because they're attracted to who you are, and you'll never have to go perform and figure it out to make your audience love you. You just get to show up and be you. That's what we're going to do here on this channel. I'm Dr. Crystal. Thank you so much for tuning in with me, and I hope we get to have many of these conversations together now and in the future going forward. Until then, enjoy. My love to you, and I will see you in the channel perhaps. Follow me.